Hi everyone, welcome to Find Your Flow. Today's practice is all about hamstring flexibility, but we can't look at flexibility without also taking into account a little strength. So hop onto your mat and I'll meet you there. Okie dokie. So for today's practice, we have the option of using a yoga strap. If you don't have one, no worries, it's just an option. But if you'd like to grab your own at-home version of a strap, you could use the tie from your dressing gown. You could use an actual tie, a tea towel, cloth, something like that, just to help to find that bridge between your foot and your hand when we come to open through our hamstrings in a few moments' time. So if you have something, just bring it to one side and we're going to start lying down on the ground. Find your own comfortable position, so legs might be extended, knees might be bent, but wherever you are, bringing the palms onto the belly. And if you'd like to, closing down your eyes. And we'll just spend a few moments, about a minute or so, connecting to ourselves, to our breath, to our body, to our mind, to everything that we have brought with us to this practice today. And then honoring that, because often the hardest part is showing up, and you're here. So thank yourself. And as you begin to deepen the breath just slightly, connect to the space beneath the palms. Feel the inhale, belly rising. Exhale, belly softens. Find your own rhythm here. Nice. Everybody finding one more full breath in through the nose. But then open the mouth and sigh it out. Lovely. As you wiggle your fingers and toes, begin to flutter the eyes open. Extend the legs, reach the arms back behind you and take a big full body reach away, just wiggling it all out. And then planting the palms down by your sides and bending the knees. You're going to really root down through the soles of both feet and through both palms. So spreading the toes and the fingers nice and wide. So before we open up into just stretching the hamstring muscles, we're going to fire them up a little bit and activate them. Really helps to get this pairing together. I mean, we can just pummel the flexibility all we want to, but if we don't have any of that strength to add to that stability, then the area isn't going to be as optimized, as healthy as it could be for you and your body. So starting off in a glute bridge, really taking the awareness to the glutes and the hamstrings here. If the feet are quite far away, just walk them in towards you a little bit. We're looking to roughly have the knees stacked on top of the ankles. It's just a rough guide. So from here, begin to plant down and rise up. Peel the tailbone off and then start to lift the spine. Rather than lifting all the way up as high as you can and flaring the ribs and the chest and the belly, keep it dialing in. Awareness on the lower body. Nice. Breathing and then lowering down. We're going to lift here 2 more times. Peel the tailbone off, lift the spine. Awareness to the glutes and the hamstrings. Lovely. And then roll all the way back down. Once more, press all the way up. And then all the way back down. And if you feel comfortable there with both feet on the ground, awesome, stick with that. Next option though is to find 3 single leg glute bridges. So we'll be lifting, first of all, our right foot off the ground. We can keep a bend in the knee or we can extend the leg heel to the sky. It's your choice. This is the More challenging version, I'd say, with the leg fully extended. So it just depends where you are in your practice. Keep planting through both palms. Left foot roots down with intention. Peel the hips and the spine off. Nice. Lower down. Peel it off. Lower down. One more time on this side. Awesome. Remember, we could still be doing both feet on the ground, but if not, swap sides. Take a moment to really plant through that right foot. Lift the left leg and rise. Nice. And again. One more time. And release. Awesome. Hug the knees in towards you and just rock gently side to side. Really snuggle your low back to the mat. Awesome. And as we come back to center, this is where we have the option to use our yoga strap. So I'll show you where we're going to be placing it. Well, your version of your strap can come around the sole of the right foot to begin with. So again, if we don't have a strap, hands can be on the hamstring. They can be on the calf, maybe on the foot. But we're not looking to hold whatever we're holding on to and yank and pull and tense and tighten. Instead, can we approach this with a little more ease, more of a softness? Often when we come into a stretch, particularly the hamstrings where a lot of us are quite tight, we just feel the need to hold and pull, and yeah, we're not going to do that today. We're going to keep a nice soft approach, being with our breath and trusting it as our guide. So whether we're here or here, I'm just going to use the strap on one side and then not on the other side so you can all see. Keeping the right toes flexed down towards the face. We're going to keep movement so that we're not fully static in one position. So when you're ready, inhale, bend your right knee. Exhale, extend through the heel. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. Keep the toes flexed down. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. Nice. One more time. Inhale to bend. Exhale, extend. Keep it soft here. We are going to find 3 full breaths in this static position. If you're noticing that grip is getting a little tighter, keep it soft. And after your third and final exhale, slowly release and just give that right leg a wiggle on the ground. And like I said, I'm going to bring my strap to one side just so I can show both options. If you're still using your strap, awesome, go ahead. Lifting that left leg up to the sky, place your hands wherever they feel comfortable on the back of your leg. Sending the toes down towards the face. Really mindful that we're not getting this big peeling up in the lower back here, because just putting pressure on spaces where we don't want it. When you're ready, inhale, bend the knee. Exhale, extend. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. 2 more times. Inhale to bend. Exhale, extend. Really getting that full range of motion. Inhale, bend. Exhale, extend. Stay here. 3 full breaths. And release. Send that left leg on the ground and give it a wiggle. Awesome. Now just come to make your way to one side and just press up. We're going to come straight into a tabletop position, bringing the palms to the mat, but right away tucking the toes under. As we sit the hips towards the heels, we're going to reach the arms forward and prepare ourselves for our downward facing dog. So spreading the fingers, create a big sturdy foundation. Let the tailbone draw high to the sky and just pedal through the knees, Wiggle the hips and notice how the space is feeling, particularly in the back of the legs, as this is the area where we're mainly focusing on in our practice today. Awesome. And remember, try not to worry about the goal here being to just press the heels down to the ground. Instead, can we keep in mind this gorgeous lift up and tilt in the pelvis to spread some length to the spine and to the back body. But we're still driving the heels down here. We're just making sure that we're not only focusing on the legs and sacrificing the integrity in the spine. Awesome. Everybody walk the hands back to the feet. Keep the nice bend in the knees. Find a forward fold. Head and neck drop heavy. Awesome. From here, step the feet together, really together, and then cross your left foot around to the other side of your right. So if you're looking down at your feet, it's like they've been put on the wrong way. We're looking to keep rooting down through all four sides of both feet. So we might want to walk the feet a little closer together or apart or whatever. But if this isn't happening, no worries. Just be however you need to be. We're going to stay folding forward here, so keeping the tension away from the head and neck. If we want to lift the hands onto something a little higher for some extra support, then please do. We can use yoga block or brick or even just a book, anything that we can get our hands on. Keeping this soft micro bend at least in both knees. And then stepping to center. Nice, just take a little wiggle in between. Pedal out through the knees and the heels. And then keep the feet together, but step the right foot around to the other side of the left. And again, stay folding here. And as I mentioned before, a lot of us have quite tight hamstrings because of all the excessive sitting that we are exposed to now. So take this really steady. And as I've mentioned, really trust your breath. When we focus on that exhale, we're given the chance for our muscles to soften, to release, rather than just go into panic mode. Keep control of that nervous system. And then as you step to parallel, walk the feet to hips distance and give them a wiggle and a shake out. Nice. From here, roll up to standing, restack the spine. And just roll out through the shoulders, shake it off through the legs. We're generally just getting a lot of blood flow circulating to this space, which goes a very, very long way to just overall improving the health of this area. Nice. As we come back to mountain pose, bringing the feet to hips distance apart, toes tracking forwards, nice soft bend in the knees. As we inhale, reach the arms wide and high. As we exhale, bring the palms together down at the heart and bend the knees. Imagine you're sitting back in a chair. So in our chair pose, we're not looking to collapse here and fully hinge from the hips, dropping and closing off in the chest. Rather, we're going to keep nice and open. If we want to bend a little more, take this a little bit further, we keep this bend in the knees. So this requires also a lot of ankle flexibility. So just be mindful if we're starting to lose any of this space, then lift it back up. But similarly, we're not looking to stick our bottom and our pelvis out and flare out in the ribs. So keeping everything dialing in toward the midline, this lovely long line from the pelvis and the tailbone towards the crown, all the way up the spine. Lovely. So again, this is one of those postures to strengthen this space. One thing doesn't happen without the other. So we can target the hamstrings as an isolated group of muscles all we want to, but ultimately they work together with the muscles around them to keep that stability that we're looking for, whether it's strength, flexibility, whatever. So finding one more full breath in your chair pose. And then folding forwards. Nice. From here, walking the hands to your downward facing dog. Keep that tailbone reaching high to the sky. Pedal out through the heels. And this time we're going to walk the feet forwards towards the hands. Nice. From our forward fold at the front of our mat, fingertips come light onto the earth. We can lift onto a brick or block if we'd like to. And we'll step the right leg back behind us. So just staying here for a few moments in our runner's lunge. The back knee's lifted. We're going to actively send a way through that back heel. Keeping the front knee stacked over the front ankle, really mindful that we're not collapsing in the heart, in the spine. So that's where if we want to lift onto something a little higher, it's a great way to support us in our practice. Just begin to rock forwards and back. Awesome. And then from here, bringing that back knee to the ground, everybody pad underneath the back knee if we need to. We'll start to lengthen our left leg. Flex the left toes up towards the face and rock our right hip roughly over our right knee. Doesn't need to be perfectly in line, but we're just making sure that we're not sitting all the way back here. If we want to find a little more, we just soften our belly towards the thigh, keep the length and integrity in the spine, but we're going to keep this moving. So rocking forwards, rocking back. And moving here with your own breath in your own time. You might want to stay a tad longer in each position, but we're looking to not keep this just full of static stretches, rather keep the body moving, keep the joints moving, get some blood flowing. Next time we rock back, everybody stay there. And if we've been here before, we might like to take it up a notch so we can reach our hands behind us like airplane wings. Keep that back foot pressing down to the ground. If you'd like to, you can tuck it under, your choice. Last option is to interlace the hands and send the knuckles away. Mindful we're not losing the length in the back of the neck. Find one more breath where you are. And then floating all the way back forwards. Release the hands. Tuck the back toes and lift the knee. We're going to walk that right foot forwards a little bit and take it a tiny bit wider. From here, press down into the legs to lift up into a high lunge. So we know when we get to our high lunge, we might want to reposition the feet. We're going to keep that back heel lifted, and hands can stay on the hips for some added stability. If we feel comfortable, we can reach the arms up tall, maybe bring palms together in the prayer. And wherever we are, we're going to bend our right knee down to hover just off the mat. And then lengthen both legs, bending both legs, lengthening up, nice, bending down. We're going to keep moving here. Lovely, stability for the knees as well. And bear in mind this is an up and down movement. So as we lift and lower, we're not rocking forwards and back at all. It's a very stable up and down motion, nice. Awesome, one more time. Hover down here, breathe here, smile here. And then release. Hands come to the mat. We're going to step our weight to our left foot as the right leg floats off behind us. This doesn't have to be a huge lift here. It might just be a couple of inches off the ground. We're looking to keep the hips stable and level. And if you've been here before, maybe you start to take one hand away or both hands to lightly wrap on the calf, or bring the palms together at the heart. Nice, find one more breath here. And then fingertips to the mat, step forwards into your fold and take a second to just reset and have a wiggle. We'll do that same flow on the other side. So when you're ready, fingertips light onto the mat. Step the left leg back behind you. Find that runner's lunge. Keep the back heel pressing away, knee lifted. take a moment just to be here first, setting up in this position, making sure we're not on a tightrope where we're struggling to find balance. And then as you rock forwards and back, keeping in mind your breath. Awesome. Come back to that runner's lunge and bring back knee to the mat. We'll start to lengthen our front leg, flex the toes up to the face. But keeping this moving, coming all the way forwards, all the way back. Nice. And paying attention to how one side might feel different to the other. It might do, it might not. Maybe we've had an injury in the past on one side. So maybe this practice is really helping us to just stay present. Every day we might feel slightly different. Just honoring wherever we are, however we turn up to our practice that day. Next time we rock back, stay there. Either bring fingertips to stay where they are on the mat. Maybe they reach away like airplane wings. Maybe the hands interlace and the knuckles press away. Nice. Keeping those right toes actively flexed up. One more breath here. And then release. Come forwards. Everybody tuck the back toes, lift the knee. I'm going to step that back foot slightly closer towards us. So we've got a really sturdy foundation to rise up from into a high lunge. Whether we're here, hands on the hips, arms long, palms to prayer. Make it work for you. And when we're ready, we'll bend that left knee, hover it down just off the mat. And lengthen both legs, bending both legs. Keep going here, trusting your own rhythm of breath. So everybody's very different. I don't want to cue you here because some of these can be quite challenging. So just make sure you're breathing. If you want to marry that up to your movement, awesome, go for it. But it's generally just more important that we do breathe here and that we're keeping this soft awareness with our breath. As we bend that back knee, stay here. Breathe here. And then release. Fingertips come to the mat, walk them forward, and we'll shift our weight to the right leg. Let the left leg float off behind us. Just opening out through those muscles, some of the muscles we've just been working there. Give them lots and lots of love. Remember, there's that option of bringing the hands away to the calf, or maybe even palms to prayer. Keep this left leg that's lifted nice and extended, really long and strong. And then everybody plant the palms, step back to your forward fold. Nice. From here, palms plant. We'll step straight to our downward facing dog. All together, finding one big breath in through the nose. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Nice. As we bring the knees to the mat, set the hips to the heels and find your version of a child's pose. I'm just going to spend a few breaths there in child's pose. Nice. Breathing fully in and fully out. And as we rise up, we'll come to scoop the left leg out in front of us. And keep that right knee bent with the sole of the right foot coming to the inside of the left thigh. Now, if you have something to lift your hips up onto a little higher, feel free to take that. We're going to have our torso facing towards this extended leg. So keeping the left toes flexed up towards the face. Everybody keep a big, lovely long spine. Big breath in. And as we exhale, it's a hinge from the hips as we start to fold the belly towards the thigh. Really resisting the temptation to just collapse forehead to knee. Keep it long. And if the hands are on the leg, again, try and resist this pulling, this yanking closer towards you. And keep it soft. Keep it easy. Trust the process. Flexibility comes through practice, through just over time. And with that, honouring that balance of both the strength and the flexibility. I know I bang on about that all the time, but it really, really is true. And it's awesome how you're taking this time to just support your body. So thank you for being here with me. Find one more breath where we are, and then float all the way back up. And we'll swap sides. Taking the right leg out, bending that left knee. Setting up, turning our torso towards the front leg, lift up and then hinge. Mindful that we're not locking into this, the knee of the extended leg. Finding one more full breath where you are. And then slowly rising up, extending both legs out long, giving them a wiggle. And we'll finish with a forward fold with both legs, Paschimottanasana. Again, lift the hips a little higher if you'd like to. Soft bend in the knees, flex the toes, lift the heart, and hinge from the hips. And I will stay here for 5 breaths. And I invite you to close down the eyes if you feel comfortable and really, really, really open up to just feeling whatever sensations are present in the body here. Without labeling, naming, and categorizing everything. Just feel what you feel. As you slowly roll up, you can keep the eyes closed. Come to find your way into a comfortable seated position. And bring the palms together at the heart. Inhale lots of love in for yourself. Exhale lots of love out, spreading to everyone who is practicing along with you today. And thank you all for being here with me. From my heart to yours. Namaste.